I know some very emotional, fun moments on stage, but there's been so much conversation about motherhood, families, parenting. How do you find the balance? What happens? We spoke to a new father. What about somebody who's a new mom? How does life change? How do you balance your wellness, your health, your peace of mind, your ambitions, your dreams? Before I introduce our next two speakers, anybody here who's a new mom? Anybody here who is or knows somebody who's a new mom? Well, all of you have gone through that journey in your own way, and you know what its trials, tribulations, and triumphs are. I have two very, very special guests whom I'm about to introduce, who are about to walk through the door. Our first speaker is somebody who's a woman of many avatars. She is somebody who's had her own Netflix show. She's an entrepreneur. She's a designer and stylist. She is also now a new mom. Can we please put our hands together for Masaba Gupta? Hello, thank you. You did make it. Can we have a round of applause for Masaba? Thank you. Yeah. And with her in conversation, I need another mic on stage, please. With her in conversation is India's finest doctor, gentlest man, and actually somebody who captures the spirit of this festival, men who champion for women. Dr. Nozer Sheriar. Can we please welcome him on stage? Show him some love, guys. Hello, and welcome back. Please, have a seat. Can I have a mic? Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
So,
Hi Barkha, good afternoon.
hi. Is it a lot of sleepless nights still?
No, I'm sleeping a lot. I sleep like 10 hours sometimes. Guys, I've hacked it. It's
You
taken
have?
me 14 months, but I've hacked it. I've
Okay,
hacked
what's
to
the
sleep.
trick? Do share.
The trick is called Dr. Nozer before shit hits the fan. Less guilt, hopefully. Train yourself to have less guilt, and also figure what works for you. Yeah.
You know, we had soldiers of the army here an hour ago, and one of them has a 4-year-old child. And I asked her, I said, do you grapple with the much quoted mom's guilt? And she said, no, I have trained my mind not to, because I am going to be that role model for my child. So I want to know, what is this mom's guilt? How do you battle it? And what's the formula to hack it?
You know, as I was leaving the house this morning, because I fly to the US tonight, so I was thinking, oh, let me count my hours in the day, and I want to spend these many hours with my daughter, but I also want to be here, and I also want to make sure I pack, and then I also want to make sure I meet my husband and my mom and do all those things. So I think the only way beyond it is through it. You have to train your mind every single morning. I wake up with it, I go to bed with guilt. But at the end of the day, I think I'm also very ambitious, Barkha. I like my work. I love my work.
And I also love that you said in a happy way, I'm also very ambitious with zero apology.
Absolutely. I have a lot of ambition for not just my work, but even for the kind of life I want to give my daughter and the kind of relationship that I want with my husband and my parents. So I think that keeping all of these things in mind is very important to keep training yourself. I keep saying, like, self-confidence is like brushing your teeth every morning. Similarly, I think in so many ways, talking yourself out of that guilt is a way of just getting up and doing it like an exercise every single day. I can't say that I have it down pat every single day, but most days I do try and work my way around it. The thing is, like small things, like I make sure I never check the baby camera when I'm at work.
You do not check it?
No, I don't.
Wow.
It's a rule. It's a rule that I've set for myself. Nobody told me to. I just decided that my work is my first baby. It deserves 100% of my attention. Yeah.
I think we can clap louder. When you agree with something, you can show love. Yes.
So it is my first baby, and why should that baby suffer because I've had another baby? Similarly, when I'm with my baby, I will not pick up my phone.
Really?
Never. Anything can be going wrong, and I will not entertain work. I will not entertain Instagram. I'm with my baby at that time.
So, just before I come to Dr. Nozer, I guess that's possible in some professions, but not all professions. You think that's true? Like, I mean, the soldier who is sitting here, I can't say that to her. She has to, do it differently. A doctor may not be able to. So, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, it's a very personal journey. Everybody has to find their own navigation.
Barkha, it's also a privilege.
It is.
It is, and
Absolutely.
I have to admit that because I'm the founder of my own business, I can say that I pick my pace of work. I pick up when I can answer someone, when I can address a query, when I can be completely with my baby or completely be at work. I think it's also juggling priorities. Some days my baby needs me more, so my baby will have me more.
Yeah.
Some days my work needs me more, so my work will get more of me. So, but again, I can pick that pace because I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
And it's my privilege, which I'm very aware of. But at the same time, I don't know how, like you said, the lady who's in the army does it. I don't know how women who have to... My accountant is my biggest role model, by the way, let me tell you. She delivered her baby, and within 30 minutes, she's asked me for an OTP. I don't know how.
No.
Yes, to complete a payment. And she was back on her feet in 48 hours in my house signing checks. I was like, this is amazing. And she cooks, she cleans.
Yeah.
And her husband works from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Wow.
And she takes care of the baby and she works. And I've given her the flexibility to come in when she can. But I think as business owners, as people who have that privilege, it's our job to extend that privilege as much as possible to others.
And also socioeconomic privilege, right? I mean, I think of women who carry their babies to construction sites, because they don't have anybody to leave them with. In India, we still have care. We have nannies. We have help. You look at the Western countries, they struggle because there is no daycare. Women fall out of the workforce because they just simply don't know, Dr. Nozer, where to leave their children. I want to ask you, you're obviously Masaba's calming voice, and I know you're the calming voice for so many other people that we've met, famous and non-famous. What is the most common thing new moms go through that you think we don't talk often enough about?
So, it's lovely we are talking about this, and Masaba's here. I once, years ago, saw a talk show by Oprah. And that talk show was about women telling her that nobody told us the truth. Nobody told us how difficult it would be. If someone had told us, we would be better prepared for it. So the first thing is, when you have just given birth, there are many things happening in your life. Dramatic hormone changes. Suddenly your hormones are all going down after being high in pregnancy. The second is your situation, your anxiety. How am I going to manage it? Every woman is going to have that anxiety. And that's where we probably have to support the woman with strategies. Now, what you asked, Masaba, valid for all women, but there are certain commonalities which can help them, particularly since we are privileged to be living in India. And I'm talking about a lot of women in India who come from maybe the middle class.
Yeah.
There are support systems. And I will always tell a woman, it takes a village to raise a child. Take advantage of the village. A new mom wants to try and do everything herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to give up even a moment. That is not sustainable. So that I say, use the village. Be kind to yourself. There can't be guilt. Unless you're doing things for yourself and you're happy, you're not going to be able to do what...
Useful for anyone else.
This thing about our country of keeping women locked up for 40 days has to stop, because that is a recipe for postpartum blues and depression. I mean, just imagine being locked away for 40 days.
What do you mean locked away for 40
days? Oh, so in our culture, tradition, women don't step out for 40 days because they didn't in the past. Now a woman, 2 generations ago and today's women, she has to get out. She has to go out. I always say you get out for 1 hour every day for good behavior, and then you go back behind
for good behavior.
I also want them that for the first 3 months, you love your baby, but your baby is not going to be fun. It's going to be needy, cranky, messy, hungry. And you love your baby, that will see you through, but you have to love yourself as well.
How common is postpartum depression?
Extremely common, a lot more common than we are willing to. In fact, what I'm doing now in my practice, I didn't do it a year ago, is every woman is going to get a postpartum depression scale. You are asked these questions which you score for yourself, which will tell you what's happening so you don't sweep it under the rug. Postpartum blues are a reality. Postpartum depression even worse. It has to be recognized, it has to be supported, it has to be prevented, and wherever possible it has to be treated, even if it involves taking the help of a mental health professional. This country doesn't do good with mental health. We act like it doesn't exist. And believe me, today in my practice for many different things, that person, that partner of mine, the psychiatrist friend of mine, is probably become so important for me, because I may be a doctor for the body, she needs a doctor for the mind. And finally, and I might say this here because all of you are here, the one thing I always tell each and every patient of mine is, please, please, please shamelessly exploit the grandparents. I mean, without hesitation. That's what they've been waiting for unconditionally. But they may sometimes wait for you to ask. See, the problem with women is they are waiting for someone to offer. And someone may not offer it thinking it's going to hurt your feelings. So don't wait for someone to offer. And I just joke and say, you know, mom sitting there, just toss your baby towards your mom. She'll catch it and you go out and do your stuff.
So tell me, did you struggle with change right after you became a mom? And I think what Dr. Sheriar says is so important, because there is this whole romance around motherhood. And I'm not saying that that's without reason and merit. But as he said, nobody prepares you for how difficult it's going to be. And suddenly you're wondering whether you should be feeling some of the things you're feeling, because culture has taught you or not taught you that you might be feeling some of those things. So I want to just understand, you know, one, exhaustion, not wanting to do anything else, not having the energy to do something else. Then maybe being mean to yourself for, you know, why am I feeling like this? Does this reflect on me as a mom? I mean, I've heard so many women go through this. What was your journey like, Masaba?
You know, mine was very scattered, Barkha, but even as we speak, I'm struggling with some form of postpartum. I don't know what it is.
How does it manifest, if I may ask?
It's strange, but just yesterday, I think I had about 3 breakdowns through the day at multiple times. And I was just, one time I was just reading to her and I broke down because I was thinking that I'm going to be in the US for 5 days, what's going to happen? And these thoughts kept just playing on and on in my head. And then I was playing this thing in my head where I thought that she's going to forget me. Or, you know, is she going to have some sort of trauma when she grows up around the fact that her mother was this person who wanted to continue work at the same pace that she had earlier. So I think it's all about, and can I say a very controversial thing, but if you want to be a sane mother in today's day and age, and I didn't do it, I made the mistake, get off Instagram for the first 3 months. Just get off it. It's brutal. Everybody is an expert. Everyone seems to know everything about meal prep and about why your baby is crying and colic. Call your doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, I call my doctor when stuff is bad. I remember calling Dr. Nozer, I think 2-3 days or 4 days after I gave birth, and he said, how are you doing? And I was crying while I was talking to him. I don't think he knows, but I was just like sobbing. And I said, I'm having a bit of I'm struggling a little bit. And he said, next time call me before the struggle gets so bad. And I think I took that advice because now I'm very aware of what's coming. Like I know today will be an anxious day because I fly out tonight.
Firstly, thank you for sharing. I know it takes special courage to get up on a stage like this, a platform like this, with so many people watching. Can we give her a round of applause for sharing something so personal? Can I ask you, when you say you had, you know, sometimes 3 breakdowns in a day, you mean you well up with tears? You mean you feel anxious? You mean all of it? How does it manifest, this breakdown?
All of it, there's strange triggers. Sometimes I'm angry at her caregivers for no reason. They're doing a perfectly fine job. I have great help. Sometimes I'm angry at my mum because I think that she didn't train me to deal with this.
Yeah.
And you know, I keep talking to her about mental health, and she keeps telling me that we had the privilege of not having enough information back then, so we were protected from a lot of it. Today, you guys have a lot of terms for everything, which is why everything feels like it's heightened. But, you know, she said, I didn't have anyone to shoulders to cry on, so I didn't
And
cry.
she brought you up as a single mom. Neena,
don't know
Neena
how.
brought you up as a single mom.
I have no idea how.
Unconventional, child outside of marriage, right?
Birth certificate leaked to the press. That was a nice moment.
What, say that again?
Yeah, my birth certificate when I was born was stolen from the hospital and leaked to the press and was on the front page of a paper because someone wanted to prove that I was an illegitimate child.
Wow. Well, how old were you when you discovered that? I'm so sorry. Doctor's with you, otherwise I would have come and given you a hug. I can still give you a hug.
This is just mom guilt playing out, by the way. It's still, it's still playing out. I think I understood it when I was maybe 9 or 10, Barkha. I don't know. I don't think I fully understood it, but I did see versions of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand it, and I didn't understand why it was done. I mean, cruel, strange, very bad for my mum. Yeah. I mean, I can be here and feel sad about it, but I don't know how she did it. So lots of challenges back then, but I think people, Barkha, are very cruel in general, and especially to women. The late Mr. Pritish Nandi actually did this whole thing. So I don't hold it against him, but I do wonder why. I keep questioning, why would you do something like that?
It's just salacious gossip.
Yeah.
I mean, his argument would be your parents were famous, your father is Vivian Richards, your mother was Neena Gupta, but I see no reason to steal somebody's birth certificate. It's just god-awful.
It's brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. And, you know, I keep hearing that showbiz is like this and showbiz is like that, but this is unacceptable. And I don't think anyone should ever go through this.
And again, thank you. I know some of these things are very difficult to talk about and also to start with to confront inside of you. Dr. Sheriar, how do we make women comfortable about the fact that you can love your child to bits, but you can feel great rage, great sadness, great anxiety, that this can also impact your physical health? We've been talking a lot about emotional health, but hormonal changes. There's also, less privileged women who we grapple in this country with maternal mortality. We grapple with undernourishment, issues of nourishment. We grapple with women romanticizing the idea of sacrifice, and in low-income homes actually not even getting enough food to be strong, healthy moms.
So we live in a country, I mean, I'm just going to say this out here, where 52 pregnant women are going to lose their lives every day because of pregnancy. Okay? That's another conversation, because we are talking about motherhood here. Married to a professional working woman, and one day she comes home and she gets a card from my daughter who says, "Mama, do we love you? No. Though you leave us and go to work, we still love you." My God, talk about having a meltdown that evening.
Yeah.
I'm putting in my papers. Today, my daughter is my wife's greatest champion. Trust me, hang in there, do what you love. I have nothing against women who stay at home and spend all the time looking after women, but believe me, the women who, like Masaba, are great at their professions will also be great at motherhood. So that's just one thing. Now,
Yeah.
So basically, you know, Sanjeet Shetty, you brought me on a show with him once. In a recent meeting we were together, said, When there's an emergency on the aircraft, they say you first put on your oxygen mask.
Yeah.
And I always say women never put on their oxygen mask. They're always putting it on other people. Look after yourself. Keep yourself, happy and grounded. And trust me, everything else will fall into place. There's no perfect way of doing it. I'm so glad she mentioned Instagram.
Yeah.
It's become a part of my counseling now. I have to prepare women for it.
Digital detox?
See, first of all, I have to accept the fact that no matter what I say, they are going to go there. Let's face it. Okay, very few women have the strength of saying, I won't look at it. So for me, it is, you're welcome to go there, but at the end of the day, I went to medical school for 10 years to do what I do. The influencer didn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how about you checking on every time you go to your doctor and you get prescribed something, you say, Doc, will there be a problem? Will there be a side effect? Will there be a complication? How come no one's asking the influencer those questions?
Yeah.
Will there be a side effect? Will there be a complication? Why are you saying all these outreach? So we are in a world where information is out there, I accept it, but for God's sake, get it processed with someone who knows. I have a cup of coffee on my table all the time that says, please don't mistake your Google search for my medical degree. And sometimes when someone starts saying a lot, I just don't say a word. Yeah. I pick up the cup, I take a sip, and then that person suddenly breaks into a smile.
He did that with me, by the way.
Oh, he did?
Yes, I was sitting across from him and in my last trimester, and he just pushed the cup towards me. I said, all right.
So the important thing is no, but you also have a very important role. And your role is to stay in control for what's happening in your life. Do not cede control to someone else. Nobody. Not your mother, not your mother-in-law. Incidentally, I think the mother, she mentioned it is probably the most important person because she is there unconditionally for you. I mean, for a woman, mother comes first, doctor comes next, husband comes third when it comes to having a baby. But my point is keep control. And at the end of it, I say be kind to yourself. And when you're kind to yourself, you're much better at everything that you do. And we are all there. I mean, you got people there waiting to help you and to love you and to do things. It's a partnership. I mean, Masaba's partner is just amazing. Okay, you can't have a baby.
I mean, Satyadeep is a lovely. I went to college with him.
He is wonderful.
So he's a friend.
So he's just,
in this case, I want to second that.
You know how.
But not everybody has an understanding, or even if they think they're being understanding, not a hands-on partner.
You know, Barkha, I think part of the problem is society. I've always said men aren't bad people.
No, I wasn't.
They may be stupid. No, but they may be stupid sometimes, but they aren't bad. So one of the most important things I did in my practice 30 years ago was get the man into the room when the woman is giving birth. And this is not just for my privileged patients. I have a general ward patient who is delivering. Her husband stands with her when she is delivering. He has to be taught that he's a part of everything. He has a role to play, and trust me, when he's standing there seeing what's happening, he is going to value his woman so much more. Okay.
Yeah. Before I open up for questions, Masaba, also there are very spirited conversations around the world on breastfeeding. We have seen women in public life breastfeed in full gaze. We have seen others say, why do you have to do this? We have seen others pump milk and store it in the fridge. And I've heard a couple of interviews of yours where you've actually spoken about this. What is your process? And I know you've said the shame around it has to stop. Why should there be any shame? Why is there this whisper around it? So I just wanted your thoughts on that.
I mean, internationally, Barkha, I think it's a very open thing.
Yeah,
you go out
absolutely.
and you have, in fact, corners where you can go out and breastfeed as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why the same isn't practiced here. Also, I think that there's so much judgment around whether you want to breastfeed for 20 days, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. Do what serves you. We don't know what's happening in someone else's house. We don't know their challenges. We don't know what they're going through mentally.
Yeah.
Right? For me, I was very clear that I will do what I can, but I will take it every day, each day as it comes. And there was a moment where I said, now I think I'm done. I think it was 7 months in, and I said, I think I'm done. I'm feeling like I've done a good job. And I was exclusively breastfeeding her, so it was a lot. And I went back to work in about 11 days after giving birth, which was a mistake, if you ask me.
You went to work 11 days after giving birth?
Yeah.
And it was a mistake because?
It was a mistake because I wasn't ready to process information at all from the outside world.
Explain.
I remember it was a board meeting that I had to do. And I was just hearing all these things, and I have 2 brands, and hearing just details about both of these things, discussing what we should do next, what's happened in the past, how stores are performing, etc. I only was able, my bandwidth was only allowing me to hear things and solve for my baby. But here I was trying to solve for my business as well, which was a mistake in hindsight. I would have given myself a little bit more time. Because I remember then suddenly feeling like I have to scramble and save 3 things, not 1, you know. And I know now that maybe I would have waited a little bit longer, but I'm also wired in a way where I perform better in life. I have better relationships, better conversations. I have better mental health when I am working. That's who I am as a person. But I know that there's many people who might not be like that. But I think I wanted to prove to myself that I still have it in me to go back like nothing happened. But the truth is something very big has happened. It's a very, very big life change. And whether you like it or not, your hormones will tell you, you know. So here I was trying to do a call while feeding at the same time. And I was just like, nothing is getting what it deserves. You know, not my baby, not my work.
I have one other question. You know, while you did lay emphasis on work and you saw it not just as something you love, but also something that was important to you to keep your balance, I also find with a lot of new moms, and Dr. Sheriar, you can speak to this also, that the emphasis on your own health, physical health gets minimized, right? Yeah. For example, I don't know, regular pap smears or testing for, which can easily test for cervical cancer. You have, you know, today we have vaccines that we can give to young girls, but we don't even have these conversations. And I feel like new moms just stop thinking about their own bodies, their own wellness, their own health.
In fact, until you become a mom, or rather until you're pregnant, you don't think about these things. Because somehow you're just in this room and you've been told you have to do these tests. Like I remember meeting Dr. Nozer, and the first meeting I had, he said you have to go get your teeth checked because there's going to be a point where you can't get any, you know, anything done, even a cavity filling, etc. at some point in your last trimester. And you don't think of even the basics. You don't think of vitamins. You don't think of anything that can help you just lead a better life. And it's really unfortunate that women don't have access to it. I was telling him just backstage that I was talking to my mom when we did one of the tests where you check, I think the baby, it's called a dual, for genetics, etc., for any abnormalities, etc. And I was thinking that, wow, somebody who, I actually asked the person testing and I said, how many people get this done? And she said, very few because it's very expensive. And I think it's about 25,000 bucks, don't quote me, but something like that. And I just thought, wow, why would anyone not be thinking of this? That every woman needs to have themselves tested. Because people who are below a certain income group, and especially, are not equipped to deal with these problems after the baby is born. Anyone isn't, if you ask me, but especially for them. So I keep thinking, what could I have done differently at that time? Could I have taken care of a few women to do that test with? Because we have the privilege of saying, you know, rule out everything. And book your nanny and your nurse well in advance, and you have all these people around you, and then you have this and that. And I think so many people don't have that. So I think women's health, the baby's health, just the amount of privilege that we have access to is shocking. It actually makes me a bit embarrassed, if you ask me.
Yeah. Dr. Sheriar, before you add to that, I want to take a few questions. We have a couple of minutes left. Yes, there, in black jacket. There's also a mic behind you in the alleyway, but we can also get you a mic, whichever you prefer. Can we get her a mic, please? Thank you.
Hi Barkha, hi Dr. Nozer, Masaba. Thank you first of all for curating this discussion. I think it's very well needed.
Hold up your mic.
Yeah. My question is to both Dr. Nozer and Masaba. We've been speaking about how women sometimes they compromise their health before, during, and after pregnancy. Something that we know is that anemia during pregnancy is very common. And if women don't prepare themselves for the pregnancy and for all the nutrition they need, it could also lead to very drastic outcomes like postpartum hemorrhage. And in this day and age, I'm sorry, like I'm trying to pack a couple of in one. In this day and age of technological advancements, are there any solutions available that women can sort of go to, or what can they do to better take care of their health and avoid these kind of situations when they're expecting or when they're delivering?
So anemia is common in women, not just during pregnancy. Women and men are having the same diets, and men are not menstruating.
Says everything, right?
You start off with a disadvantage, right? And we've never really done anything special to address this disadvantage. And you're absolutely right. It could be something really, really simple as supplementing diet, using iron supplements, which are honestly really, really affordable, though some of them are expensive. And that's a good way to start. Now, just to answer, we had a very famous gynecologist, I call him a gynecologist philosopher, Muhammad Fatala. He said women are dying of diseases that we can actually treat, but society has not yet made up its mind to treat them. Everything you said and that Barkha said is something we can fix now if society decides to do so. Now, I'm on the board of Guttmacher Institute, and they came up with a number. They said if the world spent $15 per couple, you would address all the reproductive health needs of girls and women completely. $15 per couple for treatment of anemia, for contraception, for giving her a safe abortion if she wants one, for a pregnancy and for her midlife, and the world can't afford it. When we spend such phenomenal sums of money on things, on important things.
Because there's an invisibilization around
We have
it.
to. So now she mentioned this, and you said, what an opportunity pregnancy gives you.
Yeah.
You can address her diet. Now this is, for me, you evolve. I will not look after any pregnancy unless a diet is involved with a proper dietitian. I will insist on a dental check because that's preventive health care. She's not going to do it because I make her do it. I say I won't deliver you if you don't have your dental health care. Every woman in our practice, if she hasn't had it, has an HPV PAP at 6 months. I'm so glad you mentioned it. And HPV PAP will be normal in 95%. They can come after 5 years. If it's not normal, she will come after 6 months or 1 year. At 6 months, if she hasn't already had the vaccine, she can still have the vaccine. And now the WHO has made it simple. Single dose till 22 doses after. It's even made the dosage simpler for us. So these are things which we have to now start capturing as a profession, as society. And if it's not being done, then women have to go and ask for it.
Yeah.
And ask the doctor, don't you think I should have a pap smear? Oh yeah, why don't we do it? Don't you think I can still take the vaccine? Please go ahead and take it. And you have a responsibility. I said, finally, it's you who are in control. So for God's sake, please step up, do your research, do your reading, go with your questions, and get what you deserve.
Absolutely, and thank you for saying that. I want to just, in the end, call up on stage Anjali Nair of Global Health Strategies. They're one of our partners. They do a lot of critical work on this, and they've also supported us through the years on this festival. But the reason I'm calling Anjali up is because we would like to take this moment to honor both Masaba and Dr. Sheriar for shifting the conversation, for lifting the veil, for breaking the taboo, for stopping the whispers, for speaking so openly, and in particular to you, Masaba. My heart goes out to you. I don't want to be the trigger for one of your three
Don't say
breakdowns.
anything, I'm about to cry.
No, you can cry. We can all cry together.
Thank you.
There's Anjali. Anjali, if you want to just say something as the award comes out. Yes.
Nothing. I just want to thank you both. I think Dr. Sheriar has been one of the biggest champions as we work on complicated and complex issues. Women's health is given such little importance. So for us to have this conversation, Barkha, and you to support it every year is amazing. And a big hand for Barkha for doing this for doing the conversations that no one wants to speak about. And thank you, Masaba. Guilt. I've been a working mother. My daughters are working now. The guilt never goes away. So, but thank you. Yes. And thank you so much for everything.
I just want a big round of applause for Masaba, Dr. Sheriar, for Anjali. Masaba, may I request you to just not be shy and just come up front for a picture. I think Masaba shared something very difficult and personal today, and I'm very moved by it, as I'm sure a lot of you were. So I just want you to show some love to her as she exits stage. And also to Dr. Sheriar for being a true spirit of he for she. In the morning, some people were asking us whether men were welcome to this event. And in Dr. Sheriar and so many others, I see Sanjit here. He'll be up on stage soon, later as well. So many people leading critical conversations around women's health. A big round of applause for our very special guests.
And Barkha, to my team.
Yes. And to the GHS team, a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Sheriar, thank you. Thank you so much. Just backstage.